That's why it's going to be a very special one. But, it's been very intense ever since. And, but so far it's gone quite okay.
And when you look at car performance, where do you expect to be coming out this weekend?
It's always tough to say because, the cars now are much, they're getting closer and closer. But last year the car was actually, looking at the result, especially in qualifying, they were up there. So this year has been a bit of the trend that the car where it's been good last year was also quite good this year. So hopefully, it's going to be the same, but we never know.
And when you're on the simulator, are there similarities between here and Montreal? Of course, Montreal was a great race for the team.
Well, first of all, down a lot lower downforce here, but the first two chicanes is really high braking and then going into a slow corner, similar to Melbourne, but also here you got some quick corners such as obviously Lesmo, Saskari, and Parabolica. So in some way it's similar to Montreal in terms of characteristic, but the second half of the lap is a bit different. But hopefully, obviously we're back on the all suspension, which has given us more confidence. So hopefully, we'll be able to have a good pace.
One thing, you talked about this being your second home race. You were quite open after Imola, saying that maybe if you'd had that race weekend again, you might have done things differently. There were a lot of demands on your time there. Are you approaching Monza a little differently?
For sure. I will be much more prepared, and definitely I know much better what to expect, and definitely I know much better how I need to move around, how I need to behave during the race weekend in order to be able to be 100% every time I go in the car.
All right, Kimi, best of luck. Thank you very much for that. And Franco, welcome to the press conference. So back at the scene of your Grand Prix debut last year, just how different does it feel coming back to a racetrack for the second time as a Formula One driver?
Yeah, it's the first race, the first track I actually raced in last year. So from now on, we've got other 9 races, that I know, and races that I've already been in, which is always very helpful. But just very nice memories to be back here in Monza after a year of my debut. It does bring a lot of flashbacks and memories back, which it's always very nice. And to get that surprise call last year that I was jumping in this weekend was a dream come true, and a lot of things happened from there. So it's really nice to be back here in Monza. It's a track that I always like and I really enjoy driving in. It's full of tifosi, very passionate people and fans to support us, and it's a great track to race. So can't wait for it.
And do you come here with a lot of confidence? Because last weekend you finished very close to the points. Do you feel you're making progress with this car now?
Yeah, I feel much more in control, starting to be just more confident with the car, and I'm gaining that feeling that I had last year very quickly. I didn't have it this year so early on, and I think now the team, my engineers, really helped me to get that back a little bit. We are still working on it really hard because it's not where we want to be. We are doing a lot of progress with the car, but I think generally it's been much better the last few races. I've been more competitive, and we showed that we were very close to the points. So still a lot of work to be done. This track it can be quite hard for us with the long straights, but I think if we do and we take all the opportunities available, we can have a good weekend.
All right, best of luck to you. Let's open this to the floor now. We'll start, as ever, with the broadcasters. Who's first, please? Yeah.
Tom Slafer, on Spain. Question for Fernando. Fernando, you were mentioning how better the car is now compared to the beginning of the season. Besides the good results that the team is gathering lately, it feels like the team has found its way in the development race with the new floors in Imola and Silverstone, and maybe particularly with the new front wing. Does this make you feel even more optimistic going towards 2026?
Yeah, definitely. I think to trust the tools that we have in the factory and bring things to the track that actually deliver what was expected from them is obviously a very good thing. We didn't have that in 2023 and in 2024. So yeah, it's good to go back to a more normal factory track kind of correlation and develop the 2026 car next winter, knowing that the tools are correct.
Okay, thanks for that. Mara?
Mara San Giorgio, Sport Italy. A question to Kimi. Kimi, you told us last week how much you needed a fresh weekend. How do you get rid of bad thoughts like Zandvoort or Monza last year? What's the way?
Well, just focusing on myself, just focusing on what I have to do. I think, it's really easy to get lost and just focusing too much on the final result. Instead, I think it's much better. And this I haven't been doing super well, but just focusing on the things I have to do. Driving well, put things together, and then helping the team the best way to find the best balance as well. So I think that's the main thing to do is just trying to focus on myself and trying to get every details right.
Thanks, Kimi. Next, please.
Moritz Steidl, Servus TV. Question to Fernando. Fernando, it's your 10th time in Monza that you're driving. Take us maybe through the years. How much did it change to drive a car in this temple of speed?
Yeah, definitely it did change a lot. I think, I drove even different configurations of Monza, not only the current one, but I think the way the cars, change it makes Monza a little bit different than the past. The way the downforce behaves now is a little bit safer. I remember the first couple of years in Monza, driving with no rear wing basically makes the car really like floating feeling on the straights, and it seems that you were not totally in control of it. Now, I would not say that it's easy, but the cars are like in control all the time. Obviously now we have different devices that are making this place safer. That's for me the biggest difference. Always when we used to come to Monza in the past, you feel the danger, you feel the speed, you feel the adrenaline. Now it's a little bit more difficult to feel that thing. We have the halo, we have the hands device, we have different things that I didn't have the first time that I drove here. We have the test, everyone is doing test before coming to F1 in Monza, or with at least very low downforce. Back in the 2000s, there were not these kind of privileges.
Thank you. Craig?
Craig Slater, Sky Sports. A question to all three. F1 boss Stefano Domenicali has talked about maybe young fans having shorter attention spans, and maybe we need more sprints, or maybe even Grand Prix should be reduced in length. What do you think about that?
Who'd like to start with that? Go on, Kimi.
It's a tough one. I think personally sprint weekends are fun because you have a lot of activity. You have to be on point straight away because you have one practice, then qualifying, and then you go into a sprint race. But I think shorter races, I don't think it would really work because already now with long races we do one-stop strategy with the tires we have, and they would have to implement so many more rules for a shorter race in terms of pit stop and so on because I don't think it will change so much. And I think also with a longer race, probably you have also more time to build your race. But I don't really know. I cannot really give a clear answer on this, but this is my thought. But sprint weekends are fun, so that wouldn't be bad having more of them.
Franco?
I think they're just doing a great job. Stefano did a great job in bringing the sport to where it's now, and he's a great leader, and I just really appreciate the effort that everyone is doing to to try to make it better for the fans, for everyone here, and it's getting bigger and bigger Formula One. And if it's for someone, it's thanks to them and thanks for the ideas. I think can't comment too much on that. There is a lot of, I think, new things happening in the sport, and they are bringing a lot of new people to it. And yeah, I think we are all very, very grateful for the effort that they have been doing in the past to make the sport better and to where it's now. I think I just enjoy driving, so if we keep driving and keep doing a lot of laps, I'm happy with that. It doesn't really matter what session it is.
Fernando.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I will be on the other side. I will be in front of the TV when that happens. So, I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's a problem with the sport. So probably it's not needed to change. But Stefano knows better than anyone. So if he thinks that it's needed, we are in good hands. In this kind of decisions with him. But I don't know. Also, the football matches are a little bit long, when I sit in front of the TV, I'm not watching the 90 minutes, concentrated. I'm, go to the kitchen, go back. I mean, there is always some moments of distraction, and no one is talking about, having 60 minutes football matches or something like that. So it's a problem of the society and the kids, but not the sport. So probably it's not needed a change.
And Fernando, if you did shorten the Grand Prix, with all your experience, what would we lose, if anything?
I think, as Kimi said, probably you need to do your own race, and you need to find your way into the race to go back to your natural position at the end of the race, if you execute it well. If it's too short, like in some of the sprint races, if you start, with a bad qualifying or whatever, there is not time basically to execute anything. It's difficult to follow. All the cars, they have the same tire age. There is not possible to maybe recover some places. So the longer race give you that possibility, that freedom on the strategy. But as I said, it's a difficult topic. Probably refueling will be the best thing. I said many times. I know this is totally on the opposite direction. How is it going? But when you can choose your fuel load and have different strategies, that changes completely the way that the race unfolds, and that creates an incredible, attractive strategy and races.
Okay, thank you for that. Next, David. Yep.
Sadly, didn't create much overtaking in the refueling days, but we'll talk about that at another time. Question to Kim. David Croft, Sky Sports F1. If a rookie year is all about learning, what did you learn from Imola that you have changed for this, so that when you say you're better prepared for this, your second race, you'll do differently?
Well, definitely when I said I would be more prepared, it's obviously was my first home race, and there was a lot going around, especially outside the track. And I think also my side, I didn't manage energy the best way, and just going back in the car and not feeling 100%, also focus-wise. So I feel like on that side I will know much better how to react and how to behave. And so I think that is going to be the main learning, also trying to manage the energy the best way as possible during the whole weekend, because obviously, you start the weekend, and then as you go, as you arrive to Sunday, of course, you have a bit less energy overall, but the most important is that you arrive with the most amount of energy. And I remember being in Imola, and already from the Saturday, I was pretty tired. So, yeah, definitely that was a good learning, and don't want that to happen again.
Okay, thanks, Kimi. Any more from the broadcasters? Yeah, let's do one more. Yep.
Hello, Panos Etanis from Antenna TV Greece. A question for Kimi. Obviously, you are the home hero, and whole Italy cheers for you. But when you were in Santorini this summer, everybody was sending me pictures. Oh, Kimi's here, Kimi's there. How do you cope with this sudden stardom of F1, even in places that there is no race and you don't have your team kit? And secondly, what did you like about our country?
Well, first of all, I love Greece. I went already a couple of times, and I think it's a really great place to spend summer. Whether with family or with a girlfriend or with friends eventually. So I think it's really nice. The place, first of all, because it allows you to disconnect and to relax. And then the other question, it's you kind of expect a little bit, especially when you're racing at the peak of the sport. But it's obviously super nice to see, of course, that there are already a lot of fans supporting you. And I think I just try to embrace this as well. Just getting the positive energy from them. And of course, sometimes you need to maybe say no, but in that occasion, in holiday, I was happy with that, and I was just trying to get the positive energy from them, and it's always nice to to have these kind of things.